we all still wear through the storm, through the fight, searching for hope in the dead of night. No more hiding, no more shame. Face the fire, call the name. Lessons learned, stories told. Rise again from the ashes cold. Tuesday talk, light in the dark, where the broken find their spark. Tales of pain, but we still stand, side by side, hand in hand. Tuesday talk, light in the dark, where the broken find their spark. Tales of pain, but we still stand, side by side, hand in hand. Stand side by side, hand in hand. Shadows whisper, demons call, but we refuse to lose it all. Every fall, every tear, built the strength that brought us here. We are warriors, we are fire. Turn the hurt into desire. Not alone, never lost. One more chance, no matter the cost. Tuesday talk, light in the dark, where the broken find their spark. Tales of pain, but we still stand, side by side, hand in hand.
Good morning, everybody. How are we? Oh, really? Right off the bat, right off the rip, ladies and gentlemen, right off the rip, we've got. Okay, stand by one. All right, here we go. Welcome to Tuesday Talk, presented by Safe 22 Veterans. I am John Moser, also known as Flyboy, and I'm really excited to be here with you today. Tuesday Talk is about real conversations, real people, and real support. So jump in, hang out, hang on, and let's make our time count. You are not alone. You are part of this community, and we are glad you are here. All right, we got that part out of the way. Yeah, with the live, everything doesn't always work out the way we hoped. We've talked about that quite a few times, haven't we? So first things first, I got to say a big thank you to my little buddy, Nolan the Jet Roulette, and his family. Nolan signed a thank you card, one of his racer cards, hero cards, I think they're called. And man, I'm really pumped. He's about 8 years old. I think that's called a slingshot right there. And he gets to run around with his family. His dad, Ryan, is an active duty Air Force guy, pilot, and they get to run around and go racing together as a family. And I couldn't be prouder of them for using motorsports as their diversion therapy, right? And Ryan is taking his knowledge and passion and passing it on to his boy, which is exactly what my dad did with me out in the garage and with the local racetrack, and polishing tires and spinning lug nuts and doing the stuff that you could do commensurate with your age and size. And really happy for the Roulette family. Tiana over there is a phenomenal mother and wife to the Roulette family, and Ryan will tell you they couldn't get done what they get done without her. So thank you to the Roulette family and Nolan the Jet. Go get them this weekend. They're going to be racing at Bridgeport Speedway in New Jersey. Nolan's going to be taking on the small track. Dad's going to be running the USAC East Sprint cars for, hold on a minute, I wrote it down. I just forgot his name. Steve Buckwalter Racing. So good luck to Ryan and the entire Roulette family, the Jet and Gamble. You figure out the nuances there. And good luck. We'll talk to you next week, guys. We also wanted to bring about recognition to Goat Locker Racing. Goat Locker has been a partner of ours now. This is our second year. They are a iRacing diversion therapy provider for, last time I checked, it was over 500 in their group. And Patrick and Daniel and everybody over there at the Goat Locker crew are absolutely amazing. You can see their sticker right above my head right there, Goat Locker Racing. And this past weekend, our very own advocate, Nick Trussell, who is in the iRacing series with Goat Locker, received a generous donation from another veteran. We're not going to release his name. That's for Goat Locker and Nick to do at another date. But Nick had been struggling with old equipment, not necessarily outdated, but old and janky, I believe is the word that Nick used. And this veteran is moving on from iRacing and wanted to donate his rig setup to another veteran. Patrick at Goat Locker reached out to me, and they reached out to Nick. And this past weekend, they coordinated the effort for Nick to pick up his new to him sim rig so Nick can feel a little bit more comfortable in his racing setup. It included the rig that you see there, a 39-inch monitor, some pedals, speakers. Very excited for Nick to upgrade his equipment. It's kind of like Lex Joon just did in his car, going from a 1999 model to a 2020 model. So congratulations to Nick. Thank you to Goat Locker and Patrick and all the guys over there, continuing another Veterans Diversion Therapy program through iRacing. So kudos to all of them. All right, let's go to our update from this weekend. Who do we got going on? What's going on over here? Oh, look at that. Joanne piped up. Thank you. Hi, good morning, Joanne. Are you still out in Arizona? Might be getting an interview for a guy out there. We're going to talk with him after a little bit. But hey, I made notes today, so we're doing things a little bit differently. We're going to try to follow a flow. I actually wrote things down. I'm going to try a different speed of speaking, so we'll see what happens. Let's see. Nolan, Goat Locker, and then this weekend. We're going to start off with the Carson Brown Motorsports update. They were in Nashville with Lee Pulliam Racing in the Cars Tour at Nashville Fairgrounds. And not the outcome that they expected, but definitely something to work on, right? Something to be proud of. They hung in there for a 7th place finish Saturday night, and Lee Pulliam and the boys did a great job with the car, doing as best they could with it. I heard Carson talking afterwards that he could run up on people, catch them, but he just got so aero tight, a term that they use inside of stock cars and race cars, where the car just doesn't want to turn when it gets up in behind somebody. So they salvaged the top 10. Kudos to them. I think they're going to be back next week in another car. So good luck to Carson Brown. Thank you to Lee Pulliam. Thank you to Carson Brown Motorsports and the Cars Tour. Good luck moving forward, fellas. Thank you for all you do for the recognition and the awareness of Save 22 veterans. Joanne says, nope, she's back in Ohio for now. Well, I did that once too, and I said for now, and that was 26 years ago. So, Lex Joon. So this weekend we were at the IHRA. Hold on, I need a drink of my Ground Force coffee right here. Got my F4 mug this morning. My favoriteest airplane ever. The F4G Wild Weasel. Spent about 1, 2, 3, 4 years total on them, I guess. A couple deployments with them. Absolutely my favoriteest aircraft. I know what my 130 guys are going to say I'm crazy, but I got to fly the 130, so that's my 1 Alpha. How's that? Groundforce.coffee. Let me put that up here real quick. Has been keeping us in coffee for about a month now. Really happy with it. Love the different roasts. Good stuff. I get the whole bean because I like to grind them myself. I like a thicker, coarser grind. I don't like the really fine grinds. Yeah. So groundforce.coffee and use code SAVE22 for 10% off. Essentially, it's about 10% off. It ends up a pound of coffee being $17.76. So how cool, how appropriate. 250-year anniversary of America. 1776 groundforce.coffee. Check it out. Plenty of roast. Be on the lookout for a Save 22 blend coming soon. Going to work with Anthony on that one and see what we get. So thank you to Anthony and everybody over there at groundforce.coffee. Anthony is a veteran, an Army veteran, and he started this all on his own. Met him about 6 months ago, I guess, and he's doing it, right? Really proud of him for following his dream and taking the initiative in that first step. So thank you, Anthony, at groundforce.coffee. What else we got over here? This weekend at the IHRA event in Dinwiddie, Virginia, we had a setup, our back porch setup. There's our back porch setup right there. Those two chairs held some pretty incredible conversations I was honored to be a part of this weekend. We had 4 what we call back porch conversations and 33 interactions with veterans. So 33 veterans, first responders came up, signed our board for the Battle of the Branches. Proof that we actually talk to people, right? Not just out there going drag racing, having a good time, which is part of the deal, right? But 31 veterans came to us, shared a little bit about their stories. Every single one of them said, thank you for being there. It really meant a lot. We got to see some of our IHRA partners and friends over there wearing the Save 22 hats. A couple stopped by to say hello. Really, really happy with the way things are progressing inside the IHRA and their Veteran Appreciation Program. Ruth stopped by as well and let me know that they did have 10 RSVPs for their Veteran Appreciation Day on Saturday, with approximately 30 to 50 showing up. She wasn't really 100% sure, but 30 to 50 veterans showed up at their Veterans Appreciation that day, which is great because the 30 that I talked to, 30 or so that I talked to, were all informed of Veterans Appreciation Day there. So the awareness is getting out. The notice is happening. So check out the IHRA.com for the next IHRA national event for free access to veterans and 50% off for a guest. They are in a lot of different things. They have a pro pooling league, truck and tractor pools. They have a powerboat racing league. They have now a stock car series, and plus the drag racing. So be on the lookout. Magnolia Motorsports Park, our friend and partner DJ Marlott, is an IHRA sanctioned track. They are working to get that up and running this year, hoping for the end of May, Memorial Day timeframe, beginning of June, to have that track ready, and that will be a home track for Save 22 Motorsports. Very, very cool with that. So while we were at the Dinwiddie event, we got to share a couple 3-4 meals. They were donated. 2 meals were donated by a local restaurant. Joe and his family came out and supported us. Here's Joe right here with his beautiful wife. They got to be down on the starting line, first time ever at a Top Fuel Nitro event. They got their nitro baptism. It was pretty good to see. It was great to share that with them. Lex Joon, LJR4 here is commenting, thank you for doing what you do. Save 22, never quit. Yeah, Lex, thank you for giving us an opportunity to share my passion of motorsports and tell my story a little bit, tell the story of Save 22. It seems to really be effective for me and hopefully has an impact and impression on others. So thank you to you and the IHRA. I know Brett, I think it's Brent, the announcer, always mentioning Save 22 and you and your team when you come up to the starting line. So it's really a great experience for us. kind of a unique one this weekend. We got to meet, I got to meet, they got to meet two Dutch Marines, and it happened kind of organically, if you will. They were walking through the pits, and I kind of picked them out as veterans right away. For those of you that are veterans, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to point it out. But then I heard them speaking in what sounded like Lex and Gerda talking to each other, pointing at the hero board, that driver information board that Lex Joon has set up at the end of his pit stall there. And I said, "Are you guys Dutch?" And they said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, hey, would you like to meet Lex and Gerda?" And sure enough, they got to spend, man, I don't know, about 30 minutes, I think, getting the VIP treatment from Lex and Gerda, from the car to the trailer to the data to how things operate on the team. They got to share a few stories. They were in town with the U.S. Marines and the Army at, oh, I'm not gonna say where because I don't remember where, but they were in town for some close quarters training. Decided to come out and take a look at the racetrack and go to some races, and I'm really glad they did. Um, that was a wonderful experience, not only for them, but for us. Um, as you know, Lex and Gerda came over from the Netherlands. It was nice to hear their native language again. But Gerda said, "Hey, we are Americans now." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." So a really, really cool weekend there at Dinwiddie, Virginia, with the IHRA and Lex Joon. There they are, chilling out in the staging lanes, waiting. I think we had an oil down previously, so we were waiting for an extended period of time there. But the IHRA safety crew does a great job, and we got to go racing. Unfortunately, not the outcome we had hoped for, but we did run better. Lex did run better. The team ran better every run. They had 3 of them this weekend, which means a total of 5 on the new car, and they're getting it dialed in. Right. It was a close race in eliminations. Round 1, they lost by 600ths of a second, and that's a pretty good race. We ran a 3:20. I think it was Kyle. Kyle ran a 3:14, and it was a drag race, and that's what we can ask for. That's what we hope for. So that'll lead us into our deep dive topic here in just a minute. Expectations versus experience. But we spent the weekend with Lex and the team. Not the desired outcome, but definitely a good learning time, good learning curve. Lots of stuff learned. Gerda learned about the tune-up. Lex learned about the tune-up, what the car can take, what the car can't take. And now it's just about fine-tuning. So to be honest and realistic with everybody, the bigger teams get to take their cars on test runs to their local tracks or other NHRA, IHRA tracks and do what's called shakedown runs or tuning runs. Some of these guys get 20, 30, 50 runs on a car before it ever sees competition at a racetrack. Lex and Gerda built this car with their own 2 hands over the winter from Doug Coletta, reskinned it, made put their seats in, their controls, did all their stuff by themselves, right? They had help from volunteers from time to time, but essentially it was those 2 right there. And their very first run was at Galat, North Carolina, Benson, North Carolina, 2-3 weeks ago, whatever it was that we were there. So we only have 5 runs on this car, and it's lighter. It reacts differently. The weld points are different. And they're doing all this on run by run. And that's where their never quit attitude, their never quit logo comes in to play. It is incredible to hang around these 2 for an entire weekend and go through the entire gamut of emotions of a weekend, from expectations and excitement to disappointment and concern to, nope, I got it figured out, to let's see what it'll do, to, well, that didn't work, to, well, that worked. Drag racing is a very interesting sport, and I'm very honored and humbled to be part of it with Lex Joon and that entire team. As you can see, there are about a dozen people involved. every weekend that we go to race, and it takes a village, right? We talk about that. It takes an entire team to make this thing go down the track for 3.5 seconds, and hope that you win, right? So it takes all those guys from Squiggy right there, and a couple of them I can't remember their names, so don't get mad at me. But there's Gerda and Austin and Josh and Reese and First Sergeant Chavez back there, and our buddy Oscar, who came up to fix the truck with Anthony Fox Trucking. Again, Anthony Fox, a huge supporter of Lex, and all he does, and Lex couldn't get where he goes without getting what Anthony Fox got. That makes it, huh? Pretty good. And there's our buddy Josh. Josh coordinated the meals for us this weekend with Joe's Restaurant, local in town, and it was a really great weekend. Regardless of what our expectations were, the experience was phenomenal. And that's going to lead us down to our deep dive. And I want to let you know this is going to be a short Tuesday talk today. I thank you all for joining in. But I'm going to just jump into this deep dive, and then we're going to call it today. So let me close a couple things out and get started. Excuse me. Take a drink of my ground force coffee real quick. All right, here it is, the deep dive. Experience versus expectations. Updating your mission. I want to talk about something that hits close to home for many of us who've worn the uniform, and often hits even harder after the uniform comes off. Experience versus expectations. In the military, expectations matter. They create clarity. They create discipline. They keep people alive. We're trained to expect structure, direct communication, shared standards, and a clear mission. And when things go wrong, we're expected to adapt and overcome without hesitation. Many of us discover later that the expectations that served us so well in uniform don't always translate clearly and cleanly into the next chapter of civilian life. I've shared before that when I transitioned into civilian world, I had a clear idea of how things were supposed to go. I had a job, I had a family, I worked on the airports, I was going to be around aircraft, I was going to be just fine. I expected my experiences to carry weight. I expected effort to equal progress. And I expected purpose to feel familiar. It's not what happened. What took time to understand was this. It wasn't that the experiences were failures. It was that my expectations were outdated. I was living in the past, my past. Unchecked expectations don't just shape outcomes, they filter reality. They cause us to miss progress because it doesn't look like promotion. They cause us to dismiss healing because it doesn't look like it's being fixed. And they cause us to overlook connection because it doesn't feel like cohesion. In the military, we were taught to assess the situation as it is, not as we wish it were. That lesson applies just as much in our own lives, civilian status as well. When I shifted the question from why isn't this matching what I expected it to what is this experience trying to teach me, everything changed. Not overnight, but a clear change nonetheless. In this week's call to action, I'm asking you to choose one area of your life where you feel frustrated, stuck, or disappointed, and ask yourself some questions. What was I expecting here? Where did that expectation come from, and does it still serve me? What is this experience actually showing me right now? Treat it like a pre-mission briefing. Observe it without judgment, and adjust your map, adjust your mission if necessary. Because expectations are not orders, they're assumptions. And assumptions need regular review. When we update them, our experiences finally get the space to teach us, strengthen us, and move us forward. Not into the life we planned for, but into the one we're ready for. As we close out today, I want to remind everyone of this. You don't have to have everything figured out to move forward. You just have to be honest about where you are and be willing to reassess what you're expecting. If today stirred something up for you, frustration, clarity, discomfort, or even relief, that's not a problem. It's information. And information is how growth begins. Between now and the next Tuesday talk, I encourage you to slow down long enough to notice where expectations might be shaping your view of your own progress, your relationships, or your purpose. Not to judge those expectations, but to update them. No mission succeeds without reassessment. No leader grows without reflection, and no veteran walks their path alone, whether they realize it or not. Thank you for showing up, for staying engaged, and for being willing to do the internal work that doesn't come with rank or recognition, but matters just as much. And we'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep showing up. So with that, I'm closing out Tuesday Talk today in a nice 30-minute episode. Y'all take care. Visit safe22.vet. And if you're struggling, let's talk.
Voices echo, hearts laid bare, battle scars we all still wear. Through the storm, through the fight, searching for hope in the dead of night. No more hiding.